Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this project, I'll be using 5-ply milk cotton yarn and I'll be using these 4 colors for our project. We'll also be using this 4.0 millimeter hook. Yeah, let's get into it. This project is made with large granny squares and you can also use any yarn of your choice and any color combination of your choice. But this is the template I'll be using for mine. The rest that are granny square. We're going to start by making a magic circle or a magic ring. Some of us already know how to make this, so yeah. We're going to start by chaining one and then we'll make a single crochet into the circle and we'll go into the single crochet like this and make another single crochet. This is our first double crochet for our circle. We're going to be making 2 more double crochet in the circle. This is 3 double crochets that we have now. Now we're going to chain 2 and then make another 3 double crochet into the circle like this. Once you have this, we'll chain 2 again and I'm going to make another 3 double crochet into the circle. We're going to be making 4 of these 3 double crochet pairs into the circle. Chain 2 and I'm going to be making the last 3 double crochet. Chain 2. So now we have 4 pairs in our circle. Now we're going to slip stitch to end this first row. We'll slip stitch into the very first stitch that we made. Slip stitch. This is what we should have. Just use our extra yarn here and pull to close the circle. Now this is what we have. For row 2, we're going to slip stitch 3 times. This is the first slip stitch, second slip stitch. The third slip stitch is going to be in our chain 2 space. For row 2, we're going to start with chain 1, make a single crochet, go into the single crochet and make another single crochet on top of it like this. So now we're going to be making 2 more double crochets into the space. Excuse me. 2 more. Chain 2 and we're going to make another 3 double crochets into the same space. Some of us already know how to make granny squares, so if you already do, you can just make yours the way you know how. So chain 2 again, go into the next chain space and repeat what we just did. That's 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochet in the same space. So we're going to finish doing this. I'm going to continue doing this until we get to the last chain space right here. So chain 2, go into the chain space and make 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochet in the same space. So I'm just going to chain 2 and slip stitch into the very first stitch right here. Slip stitch. Okay, now we're going to repeat what we did in row 2. We'll slip stitch 3 times until we get until we get to the space right here. Now chain 1, make a single crochet and make another one on top of the single crochet, and repeat what we did for row 3. That is 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochet in the same space. So for this part, this next chain space is going to have just one set of 3 double crochets, and instead of chaining 2, we're going to be chaining 1. So we make 3 double crochets into the space, and that's it. We chain 1, go into this corner right here and make 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochet in the same space. So this is going to be our corner right here. So chain 1, in this space we're making 3 double crochets, chain 1, this corner, make 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochet into the same space. Chain 1, here we're going to make just one set of 3 double crochets, chain 1, and here we're going to make another corner. So make a corner here, and here we're just going to make one set of double crochet. So this is what we have now. These are our corners. Now you see that our square is forming. So for row 4, we'll start the same way we always start, slip stitch until you get to the chain space. Make single crochet. So for every row, once you want to start every row, you're going to be making your first stitch this way. So we're going to make our first corner here, chain 1. So we know that the previous row we had just one set. So for this we have 2 spaces here. So we're making one here and one here. So make a set of 3 double crochets here, chain 1, make another set here. chain one, I will make a corner here, meaning two sets of double crochet, chain two. So three double crochets, chain two, and three double crochet, chain one. So for this row, we're going to be making two double crochets, two sets of double crochets in this space. So we know that the previous one we just had one, so row four is going to have two. And every time you get to a corner here, you repeat three double crochets, chain two, three double crochet, then you chain one and continue until you get to the next corner. So I'm just going to finish working mine off screen and I'll show you guys back once I'm done. And so I'm done with my fourth row. I'm just going to go ahead and do my last row before I change colors. But I just wanted to show you guys what my square looks like now. So if you get confused or have any questions, you can leave questions in the comment section. I'll put a description for you guys after I'm done with this video. Also, you can also watch other videos on how to make granny squares if you find it much helpful than my explanation. So I'm just going to do my last row before I change my colors and I'll show you guys how to change your colors. So I am done with my last row before I switch colors, and this is what I have. Now you can see that I have three single double crochet sets on this row 5. So now to switch colors, we're going to slip stitch as usual into the corner. But once you get to the corner, you will not slip stitch with the color we're using. You're going to slip stitch with the color you're changing to. So I'm just going to pull the yarn into the chain space and pull through our former loop like this and chain one. That's it. And I usually like to weave in my former yarn before I finish. So I'm just going to weave in this extra yarn. Can as well cut off. So now I'm just going to work single crochet. You can see I worked everything, all the extra yarn together. So I'm just going to continue my work until, so I'm going to be changing colors along the way, just like this. So I'm going to be changing colors along the way, but I won't be able to show that on screen. So we're going to keep working until we have a total of 11 rows. That's from the very first stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So until we have a total square of 11 rows, and then I'll meet you back once I'm done with my square. This pattern is really easy. You can play around with the colors as much as you like. Any colors you like, you can combine. And you can actually make the square as big as you want or as small as you want. I want mine to have a free fit on my body, like an oversized cardigan. That's why I'm making 11 rows. You can decide to make 10 rows or 9 rows or 8 rows, depending on the measurements you want. So yeah, I'll meet you guys back once I'm done. I'm done with my squares And this is the one I'm going to use for the body, and this is the one I'm going to be using for the sleeves. So I ended up doing 10 rows for the granny square I'm going to use for the body. I know I mentioned 11 rows before, but I ended up doing 10 because 11 rows was too big for the size I was going for. So this square is 10 inches. This for the body, each one is 10 inches. And for the sleeves, each one is 8 inches. So I did 8 squares for the body and 8 squares for the sleeves. That's a total of 16 squares. So now we're going to be joining the one for the body before we move to the sleeves. And for the front panel, we're going to be using 2 squares for the front panel. And I'm going to be joining using um, single crochet. So yeah, let's start joining the body. So this is going to be one of the front panels. I'm going to be joining here. So we're going to be joining it on the right side. This is how I want to join mine. You can join yours any way you like. But this is how I'm going to join mine, just to give the sweater a nice textured look. So I'm going to attach my yarn through the chain space here. So attach your chain one, and we're going to work 2 single crochets in the same space. And now we're going to be working single crochets into the top of our stitch right here. So work 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet. So I'm going to keep working at single crochet until we get to the end of this row. You can see I'm moving in my end as I go, so I don't have to do it once my work is finished. So keep working single crochets until you get to the end, and I'll meet you back once I'm done. So I'm at the end now. In this chain space, I'm going to work 2 single crochets. So now we're going to be chaining for our strap for the front portion. So um, you can chain as long as you want, depending on your preference. So I'm just going to chain my strap, and I'll get back to you guys once I'm done. So I'm done with my chain. I did 100 chains. So I ended up doing 100 chains for the strap. So now I'm just going to cut off my yarn. So repeat this for our second front panel. So this is what the front panel is going to look like. I'm done with my 2 front panels, and this is the result. So now we're going to be moving to the back panel. The back panel is also going to be joined this way. So we're going to be joining the 2 back panels separately, like we did before. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to be joining both sides together. So I'm just going to go ahead and join mine off screen, and then I'll come back to show you guys how to go forward from this. So this is what I have now. I already joined the back panel at the center. So now on this side, I'm going to be making a row of granny square stitches on this side and on this side separately. And then I'm going to join both sides together. So yeah, so I'm going to be making a single crochet stitch and then make another single crochet on top. This is my first double crochet. So I'm going to be making two more in the same space. So I have three double crochets in the chain space. So now I'm trying to chain one, go into the space and make three double crochet in the same space. Chain one, and you continue to repeat this until you get to the end. Three double crochet in the same space, chain one. So once you have this finished, I'm going to meet you guys once I'm done. So I just want to quickly show you guys how I worked this part together. So after I chain one, I'm going to go into this stitch right here through this one here too. So I'll make my one double crochet, then I'll go into this chain space and make my remaining two double crochet. So this is what you would have. This will make the stitches neater. Once you get to the end of your, at this very end, we're going to be making another, finish off with three double crochets in the same space. So this is what we should have now. So I'm going to repeat this also on this side, and then we're going to join both sides together once we're done. So now I'm done with both sides. Now we're going to be joining two sides together. For this one, the joining is going to be a bit different. So I'm going to be using slip stitch to join the middle parts together. I didn't cut off my yarn, so I won't have to reattach it again. So for this part, let me just move the camera closer. Okay. So I'm going to put my hook into this very first stitch right here in the back loop, and then pull in my yarn like so. So we're going to see that we have the yarn at the back behind the stitch, not in front. So you want your yarn to be like this behind the stitch at the back. So we're going to be slip stitching into the back loop only on both sides. So chain one, go into the back loop of this, and go into the back loop of the other side. Make sure your yarn is always at the back of your hook. Now we're going to pull in and slip stitch. We're going to the back loop again, and then we slip stitch. And this is what it looks like. You can't really see it now until we've gone a bit further. So keep going into the back loop, slip stitch. Make sure your stitches are in line like this. I'm hoping you guys can see what I'm doing clearly. So back loop and back loop. So now we're in the chain space of this one right here. So going to the chain, back loop, and the chain right here, back loop. So keep doing this until we get to the end. Just keep slip stitching like I'm doing. I'm done joining my back panel. This is what it looks like. So now we're going to be attaching our back panel. I mean our front panel to the back panel. This is going to be on the wrong side because we're going to be joining on the wrong side. So make sure the part where you have the strap is where you have in the middle, like this. So we're going to start by joining the shoulder first. Join here and here before we start working on the sleeves. For this part, I'm going to be using a yarn needle to join. I'm going to be joining from back loop only, back loop and front loop of the other side. So just attach our yarn, then tie it up, and then we go into the back loop and the front loop of this part, and then we sew. Just continue to join until we get to the end. That's how we're doing for this part. This pattern is so easy. So now we're done with joining the sleeves together. We're going to move on to making the sleeves of our project. So we're going to be joining our work on this side and on this side first before we join the middle part together. So now I wanted my sleeves longer, so I added one row of um, our granny square pattern, just one row on these two sides. So I'm going to repeat that on this other side too before we start joining. So I'm just going to attach our yarn, into from this space right here. Note that I'm working on the right side out. So make another single crochet on the top. Now we're going to make two more double crochet in the same space, making three double crochet in the same space. We chain one, go into the next chain space and make another three double crochet. So I'm going to keep doing this until we get to the end. Just one row. Once we are done with this side, we're going to repeat the same thing on this side also. I'll meet you back once I'm done. Now we're going to be joining our two granny squares together once we finish this row that we added. So we're going to be joining it with a single crochet method. Note that I did not cut off my yarn. I'm just going to start joining directly. So we're going to be working single crochet in each stitch until we get to the end to join this. Okay. Make sure the two sides are properly placed while you're joining it. So this is what it looks like now. I'm going to be joining this other side too at the same time. Make sure you're joining from the extra row that you added. So now I'm just going to join as I go to space. Once you join the other side, just continue working your single crochet to attach. So to join this side, I'm going to be working on the wrong side, and I'm going to attach my yarn. So I'm going to be working into the back loop only. So you attach your yarn to where we have the chain two at the end. So I'm going to tie mine properly. So we're going to be joining using the only, back loop only, and make sure the two sides are aligned. Just want to show you guys how to proceed once you get to this middle point here. So there's nothing much to do, you just continue joining like you've been doing. Just make sure the two sides are laid together. So just continue with your back loop only stitch until you get to the end. This is what it looks like after joining. Now we're going to attach this to the body of our cardigan. I already attached one side and this is what it looks like. So now I'm going to attach the second sleeve on this side. To do that, we're going to lay our work this way. Note that I have not joined the side of my cardigan yet. I haven't joined the two sides together yet, so we're going to be doing that after we join the sleeves. So make sure the body is on the right side out like this, and we're going to be laying our work on top of the body this way. So make sure the middle part on your sleeve is on the middle part of the shoulder. We're going to be using some stitch markers for this part. So I'm going to attach my stitch marker to the middle here and the middle here. And then I'm going to be marking the point where this is also. Since we have 8 rows here and we have 10 rows here, so you make sure this is on the 8th row of the body on the side. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this other side with our stitch marker. Now we're going to be joining this part together using our yarn needle and the same method with which we've been joining when we use our yarn needle. So I'm going to join this together off screen and I'm going to come back and show you guys once I'm done. I have now finished joining our cardigan, and this is what it should look like. So I realized the hand was a bit short for me. The length was a bit short for me, so I added 2 rows of the granny square pattern at the bottom. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'll just quickly show you guys how to start. But typically our cardigan is finished. This is the final look. So we're just going to add 2 more rows on this side. This part is not necessary. You can wear your cardigan to see if the length of the sleeves is perfect for you. But I'm going to add 2 rows. So I'll quickly show you guys how to start, and that will be the end of our tutorial. You can attach the yarn to any side of the hand, the sleeves where we have the chain space. I'm going to start on this side. So attach your yarn. I'll chain one, then work a single crochet, then work another single crochet on top of our single crochet. That's going to be our first double crochet stitch. I'm going to make 2 more in the same space. So now continue working the double crochet pattern all around until you can attach your yarn into any part where we have the chain one space. I'm going to start on this side, chain one, make a single crochet, then make another single crochet on top of our first single crochet. So now I'm going to be making another single crochet into this space. This is just to ensure that this corner is very neat. I'm going to make another single crochet into the space and chain one. So we'll continue working this pattern into every chain space. So 3 double crochet in this chain space, chain one, then work another 3 double crochet. So you keep repeating this until the end. I'm going to be making 2 rows of this. I'll show you how to start the second row once I'm done with this first row. I'm now at the end of my first row, so I'm just going to go ahead and slip stitch at the very top of the first stitch we made. Slip stitch. Now I'm going to slip stitch until we get to this chain space to start row 2. So slip stitch 3 times until you get to this chain space. Now we're going to chain one, work a double single crochet, another single crochet on the top, and make 2 more double crochet in the chain space. Chain one. So we're going to repeat what we did in row 1 and continue working double crochet stitch until the end. So I have completed my 2 rows, and this is what I have. And this is the end of our tutorial. If you're still here with me, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys for always supporting all my videos and tutorials. If you have any question, you can leave comments for me down. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.